Today we're going to be going over the top 5 mistakes that you want to avoid when starting to play Wuthering Waves. Through the rest of the intro, let's go ahead and hop into the first mistake right now, which is you guys not subscribing to this YouTube channel for premium Wuthering Wave content. Hit it right now, so you guys will see some cool and maybe copium Wuthering Waves content in the future. But for real, let's go ahead and hop into the real mistake number 1 now, which is your stamina. This is a mistake that I see so many people make, people that play Genshin, people that play Honkai Star Rail, so many gacha games when they start out. The stamina system, which are called Waveplates in this game, guys. This is super important. You only get a limited amount of these per day unless you have like something to refresh your stamina, like fuels from Honkai Star Rail, or using your premium currency in the game to actually refill your stamina. Guys, you want to make sure you're using this. You only have 240 per day, so make sure you're using this all, because once it caps, you're not getting anything else. You're basically wasting resources in the game. So YouTube, how do you use these resources? That's easy enough, guys. There's a couple things you can do to actually use these resources in game. So just a brief overview of what the Waveplates do and how much you regen. Guys, you regen 1 Waveplate every 6 minutes. That means in the time frame of 24 hours, you'll be getting all 240 of these Waveplates. So as long as maybe you're logging in every like half a day, 12 hours, 14 hours, 18 hours, as long as you're logging in less than 24 hours, you should be able to use all of your Waveplates before overcapping. But like I said, what do you use these for? Guys, you use these for multiple things like character XP, weapon XP, getting echoes, which is the equipment system in the game, and we'll talk about that in a little bit later in the video. But you use this for literally everything that pushes your account forward. That's why I say you don't want to overcap it, because if you have a limited amount of these, that means you have a limited amount of progression you can make on your character each and every day. So I'll briefly go over what each of these stages are. The first thing here, guys, is going to be your simulation field. This is what you're going to be using to get all the XP you could ever need for your character, weapons, echoes, and credits as well. This is the main driving force of upgrading your character. This is not going to ascend your character, though. Keep that in mind. And this does cost 40 Waveplates. This is the main thing you should probably be farming, because obviously with the higher soul level you are, which is basically like your world level in Genshin Impact if you played that, this allows you to take on higher challenging things, right? You really don't want to be farming echoes with stamina this early in the game. We'll talk more about echoes in a second, guys, because echoes are super important for your account. One of the major mistakes that I see a lot of people make here. But beyond that, we have the forgery challenge. The forgery challenge is basically used to ascend your weapons, because after you hit the cap, you're going to have to ascend them. It's like upgrading a light cone in Honkai Star Rail, guys. You hit the level cap, you have to ascend them somehow. This is how you're going to be ascending them. It costs 40 Waveplates to do these events, but you do need to make sure the corresponding weapon does match up with the material that you're actually getting from this event. Moving on to boss challenges now. Boss challenges give you resonator material, meaning you need this to literally enhance your character, take them to the next level, or I guess not level because it's not you ascend your characters, and they take 60 Waveplates to actually farm. And one of the final things you can do is the tray set field cleanup, guys. Now this right here, I really wouldn't recommend farming this until later in the game. Getting echoes, I do recommend, not using your stamina, of course, but something like this I wouldn't recommend until later in the game. You really don't want to be focusing on this until you have like 5-star echoes, okay, guys? Mistake number 2 that I see people make is character progression in general, guys. You want to make sure that you're leveling up your character proficiently. You want to make sure that you're bringing the most power out of them that you absolutely can. And how do you do that? People are probably gonna go farm echoes and have a good time spending their stamina on farming echoes. Please don't do that. You want to make sure your character is the max level they can be for the current soul rank you have. This is going to increase all of your base stats. All of the multipliers play off these base stats, so you want these base stats to be as high as absolutely possible, so you're doing those damage, and on top of that, being able to survive any content that the game throws at you. Number 2 here, guys, level up your weapons. This will give you more attack power. This is what's going to drive your character's damage. You might get into a fight where your DPS ain't shit. This is what's going to cause you to not deal damage, guys. Make sure you are leveling up your weapons. That's the second most important thing to level up here. A little side note here, guys, don't be leveling up the little fodder 3-star weapons. Come on, guys. Let's have some common sense here. Anyways, guys, the number 3 thing you want to be upgrading is your character's fortes. I don't know how to say the word, so I'll throw what it looks like up here on screen now. This is basically the skills of your character. It gives you the damage multipliers, like I mentioned before, that plays off of your base stats and your stats in general. This gives the multiplier to do the attack that you're going to do, so on and so forth. And number 4, guys, equipped an echo set. Equipping an echo set is going to be absolutely essential. Just don't level them up until you get 5 stars, okay? Don't waste the materials on them. Equip them, though. Try to get some main stats that actually work well with your character, though. That's the one thing I would recommend here. And that's what I recommend as far as your character progression in general through the game, guys. Let's hop into mistake number 3 now, which is echoes. People in general just make a lot of mistakes overall just with like equipment pieces. So let's try to avoid those by number 1, don't level level up anything less than a 5-star Echo, please, God, don't do that, okay? That is something that you see so many people do. They're like, oh, wait, I have some pretty good substats here with my 4-star Echo. Let's level it up. Don't do that. Stop it right there. Just level 5 max, guys. Level 5 max. Do not take it past that. The difference in multipliers that you get from level 4 to level 5 is pretty big, so I really wouldn't recommend leveling up a 4-star Echo. Keep it to yourself. Don't level it up, guys. Also, whenever you're putting Echoes on as well, like I said, make sure you're putting the correct main stats on your characters. Don't really worry about the effect sets that the game's giving you until later on in the game. Make sure your actual stats are fine before you actually worry about the Echo set bonus it gives you, okay? Main stats, substats over your Echo sets. That's what I would always recommend. Normally, it's better. Normally gives you more of a buff to actually get that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into mistake number 4 now, which is terminal level. The reason why this is not higher up on the list is because you inherently are probably going to unlock this, but you should be pushing it. That's the main point here, is you should be pushing your terminal level up as much as possible. But how do you do that, you two? You literally go to your logbook of the enemies, you go fight the enemies, and then you get their Echoes for free. That's the best way I can describe it to you there. When you get into the game, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you want to be fighting as many enemies as possible to get this terminal level up, because the higher terminal level you have, this means the higher rarity of Echoes that you can find in the game. On top of that, it increases the cost of how much you can actually equip to your character, because there is a cost, right? So the higher your terminal level is, the higher rarity Echo you can equip, which means the Echoes that cost more, you can also equip more of those as well, so on and so forth. That's what you want to be focusing on. Please, God, just go through the game and fight Echoes. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. Go for it. You're going to have a good time. Also, you get to explore the world, collect chests and everything like that too, which gives you more premium currency to actually summon on banners, which leads us into one of the biggest mistakes you see so many players making. Guys, do not summon on the standard banner, okay, guys? When you get into the game and see the banners, right, you're obviously going to have a free 5-star you can choose from. You basically choose the banner 5-star that you want, and then you summon on that character. That's going to be your first guaranteed 5-star, and we'll have another video on that in the future, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can see that. But you should be using all of your premium currency towards limited banners, guys. It's not worth it. You'll get free currency to summon on the standard banners in the game. Make sure you're using all this premium currency on the premium banners, whether that be the character or weapon banner. Weapon banner in this game is not bad. You have a 100% rate to actually get the weapon that you want. But for example, if you want Calcharo, you pick Calcharo's banner like, I want Calcharo's weapon now, and say it was the featured weapon, then go for that, right? So 100% drop chance. I'm not going to wreck you for doing that. Also, make sure you're selecting the weapon that you want with the standard banner as well, because you can get a guaranteed weapon from the standard banner as well. Don't use premium currency on it though. Make sure you're not using that. Also, make sure that you're saving the duplicate materials that you get as well. There is a shop for this material which you can get extra summons with, up to 18 summons a month, gamers. That's a lot of summons, a lot of free summons there. Also, you can get free 5-star characters here, but it's going to take a long time. Probably like your Honkai Star Rail, going in the shop and buying a free 5-star light cone, right? It's going to take a lot to get there. So this is like whale territory or whatever, but if you're saved, you can surely get there at some point, right? Surely you're going to save because you're a free-to-play budget player, and so am I, because I'm wearing this and I'm poor. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Bye-bye.